Okay, so starting out, we have I share my light with the world. We have a strength card, the Fool. Patiently waiting in absolute stillness, safely held in the love of the divine, allow the key to come forward in its own time. Is there a sense of wanting to be somewhere else? Let that go and look and see all that is around you. This is the time to gather yourself for the journey ahead, as yet unrevealed. This is card number 10, which could be a 1, which would be, I was going to say the Fool, but it's actually the Magician, and it's awareness. We have the Queen of Coins, the Eight of Coins. This combination is telling me that there's a focus and emphasis on career goals, on comfort that comes through hard work, your skills paying off. So kind of working on your skill set so that it gets better. There's something unique that you bring to the world with I share my light with the world. And the Strength card twice. Didn't even realize that. So there's a real kind of emphasis on overcoming some kind of struggle, overcoming some kind of obstacle in your path. And this is your story. Like, this struggle is something that's actually making you who you are. I heard this somewhere recently. I can't remember who it was that said it. But so she has a staff and she has a snake kind of coiled around it, and then she has this lion. So generally it's just a lion and a woman who's kind of taming the lion. She caresses his hair, but then she also kind of holds him with a tight grip. And that's a good analogy of like how to handle difficult situations, difficult people, even kind of how to handle parts of yourself, of your own psyche that are challenging. So you have strong boundaries, have strong limitations, but you also are kind and sensitive and sympathetic to the other. There's the World card here, meaning that you're ending a cycle. This is a graduation. There's something that you've either mastered in terms of your skill set that is now going to reap a lot of rewards, or there's some kind of conflict, struggle, I don't know if conflict, actually, just an obstacle in your path that you're learning how to overcome in a very delicate and very elegant way. Like, you're learning how to be strong in an elegant way. And you're learning how to overcome adversaries with elegance. I want to say with fortitude. I don't even know what fortitude. What is fortitude? That just came to my mind. Fortitude? Is that like the will to keep going? Fortitude, courage in pain or adversity. Yeah. Yes, that's exactly what this is with the Strength card. Amazing how that just came to mind. So flying into spring is the Fool, and this is courage. This is definitely courage to take a leap of faith, to try something new in a situation where possibly you've exhausted all other options, or you've just come to kind of an impasse and you're not feeling like you can keep going down this path, so you're trying something new. Maybe this is more playful than that. Maybe this is just kind of an exciting venture. You're going to try out something different or in a different way than you would have in the past. If we're talking about obstacles, this is a wonderful card for obstacles. What we perceive to be is not the whole story, only that which we understand to the level of our knowledge. The solid of a stone seems impenetrable, but as we look closer, we begin to see space and smaller objects held together. Then we see space above all else, movement where we perceive there to be none. Immersion number 22, which would be a 4. So learning how to be flexible so that you can see things from a different perspective. And then instead of being rigid in your view, you start to have a more open-minded view of things that allows more potential, more possibility. If I want to feel supported, I must support myself. Underneath the deck, we have the Knight of Wands, taking action, stepping forward boldly, right? Where most people fear to tread, or in a way which most people might be afraid or think is foolish. Like, you're not going to do that, right? That's kind of foolish. But sometimes life calls for that kind of levity or that kind of lightheartedness when you're in a situation that either affords you that kind of freedom, like if you're going traveling or something like that, and you have the freedom to take a risk or to do something different with your life, or in a situation where you're kind of faced with an obstacle, faced with something difficult, and you have the courage to try something out that might not work for most people, but you, with your faith, are convinced that it's going to be okay. So underneath the deck again, we have, when I shine bright, I give others permission to shine with me. It feels like that's kind of re-emphasizing I share my light with the world. Maybe it's giving it a little bit more detail or more clarity. By shining your light, you give others permission to shine as well. So there's something in the work that you do, something with your skill set, something with your courage to overcome a difficult situation or to close out a chapter and graduate from something that happened in your life. And this could be like a coming of age story, right? This could be when I was a child, I went through this and that, or when I was a teenager, or when I was a young adult, and now today I'm changing my life. I'm closing out a chapter. Maybe it's a divorce, maybe it's a job opportunity that didn't work out, or a family, friendship, love situation that just wasn't going in the right direction. And so you kind of detour or you close the whole thing out and you try something new. The World card is the last card of the major arcana, and the Fool is the first card. And it feels like here it's not really about seeing you through from beginning to end. Rather, it's about seeing you at a pivotal point where you're ending something and then you're starting something completely new. So there is that saying that, I don't even remember how it goes, but it's something along the lines of, this isn't an ending, it's also a beginning, right? So it's a transformative energy. And I think you do need the courage, you do need the willpower, you do need the strength, you need the ability to kind of pounce when you see an opportunity and go for it. And maybe even try something creative or try something in a different way, different approach than you would have in the past.